Why do you take this apart now? I'm trying to get us out of here and you pull both of these...
Excuse me, sir.
Put them back together right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the midi-chlorian experience. Sorry for the long delay in posting. I originally set out to make one video a month, and it's been 9 months since my last video, so I'm just a little bit off the mark. Today we'll be looking at the running theme of dismemberment in Star Wars and its significance in the storytelling. One important point to note is that both Skywalkers lose their right hand in the second act of their respective trilogies. There are similarities between Anakin and his son in how they lose their hands, but there are also differences. For instance, at the end of the second act in both trilogies, we see them each with their new mechanized hands, except Luke's has a flesh covering while Anakin's is exposed metal. This is an understandable contrast given that Luke is the one to retain his humanity as he goes forward in the next film, while Anakin sacrifices it, selling his soul to the devil for power and ultimately burning in hell as a consequence. The flames eat away at his body and spirit, forcing him into the mechanized suit of Darth Vader.
He's more machine now than man, twisted and evil.
When Anakin loses his hand, it shaves off part of his ego and humanity. Having finally faced a defeat, he is humbled and forced to grow as a warrior. This lost arm is replaced by a mechanical one, which serves as the first step in Anakin's total loss of humanity and his transformation into a machine. There is an interesting amount of depth when it comes to Luke losing his hand. While Anakin's was much more about reducing his humanity and acting as his first step toward becoming a machine, Luke's has more to do with his relationship to his father. When Luke loses his hand on Cloud City, there is a psychological severance that occurs where Luke loses part of his unconscious mind. Because before Vader's big twist reveal, in Luke's mind, his father was a brave Jedi, a cunning warrior, and the best star pilot in the galaxy, who was betrayed and murdered by Darth Vader. That's how Luke understands his father, and he carries his father's weapon in a duel against the man that killed both his father and Ben Kenobi. Luke losing his father's legacy symbolically and psychologically disconnects Luke from the idealistic view of his father, severing the connection and his relationship with the idealized image of his father. Now it's just Luke and Vader. This dismemberment precludes the revelation of Vader's true identity, which coincides with Luke losing his connection to his father and forming a new connection with Vader. Luke is forced to see a new side of his father and himself as well. Luke is forced to see the truth and no longer has that connection to the Jedi hero he thought his father was, as he is now confronted with the stark reality that his father is actually Darth Vader.
No, I am your father.
Luke is not the son of a noble Jedi Knight, but the spawn of Darth Vader. This causes Luke to revise his self-image. Luke must now come to terms with the reality of his true father standing before him, and now forges a connection with Vader. Luke then chooses death over joining his father and leaps from the platform. Vader sees firsthand that his own son would rather die than be like him. This gives Vader time to ponder his actions without the rationalization he has always given himself for the things he does. He reaches out to his son again to try to bring him over to his side, but fails.
Luke.
Father.
Son, come with me.
And when Luke escapes, Vader breaks continuity for the first time in the movie by not choking anyone on the bridge for their failure to capture the rebels. Everyone stares at Vader as he walks off, lost in thought, all of them holding their breath, awaiting someone to be killed. But Vader is too occupied with the thoughts of his son, the man he used to be, and the family he could have had. This loss of his father's legacy and the knowledge of who his father truly is forces Luke to forge his own weapon and become his own man with his own destiny.
I see you have constructed a new lightsaber. Your skills are complete.
Luke's mechanical hand and choice of black attire mirrors those of Anakin, showing us that Luke is actually following in Anakin's footsteps. This builds anticipation for their final confrontation and presents the very real possibility that Luke may choose the same path as his father. Losing his own hand during their final duel takes a similar toll on Vader. Losing his mechanized hand is also a reduction of the machine, stripping away the cold and calculating mechanized monster to get to the man beneath it. The loss of his lightsaber is the loss of his weapon, in a sense the loss of his aggression and his capacity for violence. This stands in contrast to Luke voluntarily throwing his weapon away.
Never. I'll never turn to the dark side.
Where Vader had his taken from him, Luke tosses his aside of his own volition. Vader losing his capacity for violence mirrors his victory over Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith, where he cut off Dooku's hands. This not only was revenge for Anakin's own dismemberment, but also made the old man into an unarmed, helpless prisoner to be executed in cold blood, the exact situation Anakin would find himself in at the hands of his son. The images are echoes of each other, rhyming from one trilogy to the other. Anakin's victory over Dooku mirrors the situation Luke faces on the Death Star, where, after neutralizing his opponent, he holds a blade to his throat and is faced with the decision to strike him down, which would start him down the dark path and make him an agent of evil, just like what happened to Anakin.
Good, Anakin, good. Good. Kill him. Kill him now.
Now, fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side.
But Luke chooses a different path from his father. Luke voluntarily gives up his weapon, his aggression, and his capacity for violence. Luke chooses to end the conflict without taking life, opting not to engage with evil at all, and resists the devil's temptation. Seeing his son overcome the exact same situation he found himself in allows Anakin to emerge from within and step up to do the right thing. Anakin stops rationalizing for his misdeeds, and through his son's forgiveness is able to fulfill the prophecy and destroy the Sith Order and bring balance to the Force. Luke demonstrates that he is a true Jedi, who fights evil, but does so motivated by compassion and forgiveness rather than hatred or simple duty. Well, those are my thoughts on the many dismemberments in Star Wars. If you enjoyed what I had to say, click the like button down below, subscribe for more of my content, which will be coming soon, and if you want to get a notification when I post, hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you all next time. May the Force be with you.